I'm Sam WoJo, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about recruiting. Basically, to get started with recruiting, when I very first started in June, I had jumped on a call like the week I joined, and I was talking to Nellie, and I think it was summer, so no one else joined, and we were there for like 10 minutes just chatting, and it was a really awesome opportunity. And I was like, listen, I want to start building a team. Like, I'm brand new, but I really want to start building a team. Like, should I wait? What do I do? And she was like, you need to just jump into it, start talking about it, and really just dive in, because I had dove into everything else in my business. So she was like, why not? There's nothing stopping you. So I was like, all right. And then I kind of just started sharing about it, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, I love it, you can join for a discount. And in 2 weeks, I had my first rep, which was really cool, because when I first started, I literally had no clue what I was doing, you guys. I was like a fish out of water. I was just talking about what I was doing, and I loved it. But over time, I get to share what Zyia has done for me personally, what it's done for my family, what it's given me back. And I think that that is what helps me recruit the most. I just genuinely share what it's done for me. Like, hey, I was able to take my family on 3 vacations, and this is not something we would have been able to do. My husband is military, and we were living paycheck to paycheck before I joined. And that was part of the reason why I joined. I wanted to be able to have that freedom. So I share that with people. Like, this is what it's done for me. What could it do for you? And I always make sure I know, like, hey, I also, I work really hard. It doesn't come easy. I do work really hard, but I'm very genuine when someone tells me, hey, like, I have a lot of questions. I say, okay, let's sit down and chat. Let's get on a call. Call me. Ask your husband if he wants to get on a call with us. Because I know husbands are very skeptical. Mine was. And when I first told him I wanted to jump into another company, because I was always looking for something, and he was always like, no. And he got on Google and he had looked up reasons why I shouldn't join, like he did a million times in the past, and he never let me join any other company. And he couldn't find one bad thing about Zyia. And he was like, all right, we'll talk about it. And I had a wisdom tooth out and he went to work one day and took 2 of my kids to work with him, and I texted him and I was like, guess what? I joined Zyia, and I'm going to work really hard, and I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to just do this. And he was like, all right, like, I got you, like, let's do this. So I know husbands are skeptical, so I kind of just make myself really available to anybody that is interested, because I know how husbands can be. Like, hey, if your husband has questions, wait till he gets home from work and let's all talk later. How can I answer your questions? And I just genuinely share with them, like, why I love it. And I let people know that if they're joining for my team for the discount, that's fine with me. I am not one to push someone into something. If you are truly just joining for the discount, that is fine with me. I will not push anyone on my team into anything. And I always let them know I'm going to support them regardless. So, because I feel like a lot of times people join in companies and someone says like, oh yeah, you can join for this, because the only other company I was with years ago, I had joined thinking I was getting one thing, and then I joined and I was like, ooh, it's not what I thought. I was kind of like bait and switched. So just being genuine, sharing the opportunity everywhere you can, Facebook stories. I don't recruit from parties a lot, but I do talk about it in my parties often. Like, hey, if you had a lot of fun in this party, you could join. Out of all the people on my team, only one person has ever joined like that from a party for me. So that's not something I typically do, but I get a lot of stuff on Instagram. I make really versatile stories. I can, like, graphics for my stories that I can use over and over and over again. I share them with my team so they can use them also. It's not just my face all the time. It's fun facts about how direct sales produces more, I think it's like millionaires than any other, like anywhere else. Like, there's so many different facts you can find out and pull. You can share that with people, and basically just sharing what it's done for me really gets people like, oh my gosh, that's really cool, I want to do that too. So when someone reaches out, I follow up with them. I know Nellie had told me when I first joined, like, women are terrible at making decisions, and we all kind of need to be told what we want in life. I don't know. I always say this to my girls, like, if your husband asks you where you want to eat, do you ever tell him like where on the first time, or do you say like, I don't know, where do you want to eat? Chances are like you guys debate a little bit. So I always say, like, people don't, like Nellie had told me, people kind of need pushed in the right direction. So not that I push people, but I'm always like, hey, 2 days later, hey, I remember you checked in. Can I help answer any more questions? Is there anything I can do to help you? And I just follow up. And then the price dropped on the starter kit. So I literally took an hour of my time and I went back through all of my Instagram messages, all of my Facebook message, and I reached out again like, hey, I know you were interested in the past. Are you still interested? And I really think following up is huge, because out of that, I think like 4 people were like, oh yeah, that's amazing, I'm in. So just because you followed up with someone a month ago or 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago or 6 months ago, it's never too late to follow up again. It's never too late to touch base and build a relationship, and just be genuine, just be you. And I always say this all the time, like, don't try to be anybody else. We're all different, and the way we connect with people is all differently. So just being yourself, because I can't read the chats. It doesn't pop up for me. So it just like pops up a question. So if there's a question, Angie, maybe you can let me know, because I can't read them. It literally disappears as soon as it comes up. So yeah, I think just connecting with people how you would, putting you into it and letting people know, like, you could join this opportunity with me and you can run it your way. What better time to start than literally right now, because we're all home going crazy with our kids, but we are all home right now. So just be you, and show what it's done for you. You can share in parties, you can share in your VIP groups, you can share on your Facebook page, your Facebook stories, your Instagram stories. Like, that's so many places you could join. You could just talk about it, throw it in there any chance you get, a couple times a week.
Awesome, Sam. There are a couple questions that I will ask you while we are recording really quick. So do you mainly recruit from Facebook?
I would say no. Most of my leads come from Instagram stories, like that. I do get people from my VIP group, but mainly Instagram.
Would you say that's where you show up the most?
For sure, because I used to have my blog before Zyia, so I just continued to do like my daily stories of like my hot mess life, and people think it's hilarious. So I just continue to like do my life, and then I throw in Zyia at least once a day on my stories.
Okay, cool. Another question is, would you be able to share the graphics? Of course you can, I bet. And we can put that in the Wix. And then also, what apps do you use when you do the graphics?
Yes, I can share the graphics, of course. I make so many different recruiting ones, so there's really great ones. And then I was an art major, so I love to make graphics. But if you're a beginner, Canva is great. If you have any background in graphic design or anything like that, Over is a really great one. You do have to pay for it. Some of it's free, but it's really, really awesome. And you can design really beautiful graphics on Over. It is, I would say, maybe like not a super beginner user friendly app, but Canva is great for beginners. So I would suggest that too.